Yeah, the first like year or two was really cool, and then afterwards that fell off.
All right, guys, let's do this. So just some basic vocab that we need to know. Oh, so. Okay. So some basic vocab we need to know. Yeah. Okay. So when we're dividing, what goes inside the house we call the dividend, what goes outside the house we call the quotient, and then what ends up happening is at the end, if you're just left with a number, that is called the remainder. Okay, so question for you guys. Is 2 a factor of 14? Yeah, why? Good, because 2 times 7 is 14, or you could look at it as 2 divides evenly into 14, no remainder, right? Or a remainder of 0, right? Is 3 a factor of 14? No, because when you divide it, it has a remainder, right? It doesn't go in evenly. All right, so now let's talk about the rules for dividing polynomials. Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure the dividend, that's what's inside the house, is in descending order. And every exponent is accounted for. Okay, let's do a problem. I want us to divide x cubed plus x squared minus 30 by x minus 3.
So we have to put it in the thing, not like the fraction.
Yep, we're going to put it into the little house. So whatever's getting divided, that's what goes inside the house. So what's getting divided? The x cubed plus x squared minus 30. That's our dividend. But what did I say? I said make sure it's in descending order. Is it in descending order? Yeah. But I also said make sure every exponent is accounted for. Is every exponent accounted for? No. So what do I have to do? Put in an x spot with what in front of it? Any guesses? So I'm going to have x cubed plus x squared, but now I need something with the x, but there's really no x there. So if there's no x there, what number should I put to show that there's nothing there? 0. So anyone that doesn't have an exponent, you're going to put a 0 in for. So x cubed plus x squared plus 0x minus 30. That goes on the inside. On the outside is an x minus 3. All right, so now what you do is you take the first variable on the outside and you ask yourself, all right, x times what will give me x to the third? Well, x to the first times x to the second will give me x to the third. So we're going to put an x to the second there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to distribute that x to the second into everything into the divisor. So it's going to be x to the second times x is x to the third. What's x to the second times a negative 3? Negative 3x to the second. So guys, when we're normally dividing at this step, what do we do here? we subtract, right? When we're normally dividing, we subtract at this step here. But now I'm not just subtracting one thing, I'm subtracting a whole binomial. So what you want to make sure you're doing is that you're changing the signs. So I'm going to subtract the x to the third, but don't I also have to distribute that negative to the 3x squared? So when we subtract, we change all the signs to the opposite. So now when we have x to the third minus x to the third, that cancels. And then what is 1x squared plus 3x squared? 4x squared. Now we're going to bring down everything x. So we have 4x squared plus 0x minus 30. Luke, could you stop that, please? Thanks. All right, now you're going to ask yourself, x times what is 4x squared? X times 4x, right? X times 4x will give us 4x squared. So now we're going to do plus 4x. And now you distribute that 4x into the divisor. 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times a negative 3 is a negative 3x. But because we're subtracting, what do I have to do with all the signs? Change them. So we have a negative 4x squared and then a positive 3x. The 4x squared and negative 4x squared cancel. 0x plus 3x is a 3x, and then I bring down the minus 30. So now we're going to have x times what is 3x? Hi. X times 3 is 3x, so we're going to do a plus 3x up here. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times a negative 3 is a negative 9. Oh, sorry, we're not adding. All right, now again, because we're subtracting, we need to change all the signs. So that becomes a minus 3x and a positive 9. So 3x minus 3x cancels. Negative 30 plus a positive 9 is a negative, 21. Oh, guys, you didn't catch my mistake, huh? When we did 4x times 3, shouldn't that have been a negative 12x? Oh, let's fix this. Sorry. Who caught it? Who caught it? Stefanos. Why didn't you stop me earlier?
I don't know. I was so big. So.
Then we do the opposite sign, so that would be a plus 12x minus 30. So now negative 3 times what will give us a positive, wait, are we okay here? Plus 12x, yeah. Okay, so x times what will give us a 12x? There we go. X times what will give us a 12x? 12. So this is plus 12 up there. So we're going to have 12x and then a minus 36x, minus 36. And then we're going to do the opposite signs. The 12x's cancel and we're left with a positive 6. So now what you're going to see is me writing Q and R. So I want you, when I say Q and R, I want you to write out the quotient. The quotient is whatever we have on top of the division house. So the quotient here is x squared plus 4x plus 12. And what's the remainder? 6. So that's the Q and R. So now I'm going to ask you, is x minus 3 a factor of x cubed plus x squared minus 30? Is it a factor? No, because it has a remainder, so it can't be a factor. Nico?
Where did the 12 come from? I just got lost.
The 12 where?
Up there.
Up here?
Yeah, the quotient.
Okay, so do you understand your 12 here?
Yeah.
Because 4x times negative 3 was a negative 12x.
Okay.
and then we did the opposite sign, so 0 plus 12x brings us down to this point, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to say x times what will give us 12x? X times 12 will give us 12x. Okay, you guys want to try one on your own? Try this one. So now I'm going to ask you, is 2x minus 4 a factor of 10x cubed minus 34x plus 4? All right, in order for you to find out if it's a factor, what should you do? Divide them. You're going to divide them, and if there's no remainder, then it's a factor. If there is a remainder, then it is not a factor.
Do we need to add?
Yep, you need to add the 0x squared, right? We need to add a 0x squared. All right, who needs more time? Okay. I'm just going to set it up while you guys finish up. Okay, so what should we have done? So we're going to ask ourselves, well, 2x times what will give us 10x cubed? 2x times 5x squared. So then we have 5x squared times 2x is 10x cubed. 5x squared times a negative 4 is a negative 20x squared. Now remember, we're subtracting, so because we're subtracting, we have to change all the signs to the opposite. So the 10x cubes cancel. Then we have 0x squared plus 20x squared brings us down to a 20x squared. Then you bring everything else down. So now we're going to say, well, 2x times what will give me 20x squared? 10x. So 10x times 2x is 20x squared. 10x times negative 4 is a negative 40x. And when we subtract, we change everything to the opposite sign. The 20x squareds cancel, so you're going to be left with 6x and then bring down that plus 4. 2x times what will give you 6x? 3. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times negative 4 is a negative 12. We change everything to the opposite. The x's cancel and you're left with 16. Is it a factor? No, so you're going to say no because it has a non-zero remainder.
So that's how it works. When you're like, it's like, you got like the numbers up there. It's like,
yeah,
you're down there. First you get like, you see how much like the first number has to get to the number you're focusing on, like negative 10, like 10x, like cube, and then you have to find out what that number times the second number is.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Complex.
Yes. Is every question gonna have like where you have to put the quotient and the remainder, or is it gonna be ones like this?
So some will be some like this, where it's like, is it a factor, yes or no? And others I'll say, tell me the quotient and the remainder. All right, let's talk about synthetic division. Okay, we're going to use synthetic division, so use when dividing a polynomial by a binomial I'll put a little star here. The degree of the divisor must be 1. And I'll explain what this all means. Okay. The dividend and divisor must be in descending order. Number 3, the dividend should have every exponent accounted for. And then last, your quotient will always be one degree less than your dividend. Can I go on? We're all done copying? Okay. So I want us to use synthetic division to divide x cubed plus x squared minus 4x minus 4 by x minus 3. Okay, in order to use synthetic division, there's a couple of things we have to make sure of. The main thing is going to be about the divisor, right? Whatever you're dividing by, so x minus 3 is our divisor, it has to have a degree of 1, meaning that exponent on x can't be any number bigger than 1. So if that were an x squared, we cannot use synthetic division. It can only work when the degree of the exponent is 1, or the degree of the divisor is 1. Now what I want you to do is I want you to go to the divisor, and I want you to solve the divisor for x. So set it equal to 0 and solve for x. Set equal to 0 and solve the divisor for x. So I'm going to take x minus 3 and set it equal to 0. So what is that? X will equal 3. So now what we're going to do, this is very different. So stay with me. We're going to take whatever we just figured out, that 3, and you're going to put it in a little box on the side. Do you guys remember this?
No,
Kind of. All right, you're going to put it in a little box. Now, we go to the dividend. And what did I say? I said make sure every exponent is accounted for the dividend. We have a 3, we have a 2, we have a 1, we have a constant. Is every exponent accounted for? Yeah. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to write out the coefficients, not the variables. So what are the coefficients? Well, for the first one, isn't that 1?
Yeah.
Second one is also 1. The third one is -4, and the last one is also -4. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring down that 1. You bring down the first one. And then you multiply what's under the line by what's in the box. So 1 times 3 is 3. And then you add each column. So 1 plus 3 is 4. Now you take what's under the line and multiply it with the 3. Exactly. 4 times 3 is 12. -4 plus 12 is 8. You take the 8, multiply it with the 3. 8 times 3 is 24. -24 plus 4 is 20. Yes?
How do you know when to add and how do you know when to multiply?
So every number under the line gets multiplied with the 3, and then you put it in the next column and add that column. Then you get a new number under the line, multiply that by 3, put it into the next column, then add that column. Okay, now I had told you the degree will now be 1 degree less than the original dividend. So my original dividend had a degree of 3. A degree is the highest exponent you see. So this highest exponent was 3. So my quotient will now be a degree of 2. So now this is going to be our coefficients. These are the coefficients. And then the last column, yeah, very good. This is the remainder. So what are we going to have? We are going to have 1x squared plus 4x plus 8. So this is our quotient. And what's our remainder? 20.
Okay. Is this all it is, or are you gonna learn like a lot more stuff?
You know what I'll do? There is a lot more stuff, but I will have you try one of these on your own, and then we'll stop. How about that? Should we do that?
Yeah,
You try one of these on your own, and then we'll stop.
that sounds good.
Like for the test, I mean.
What do you mean for the
quiz.
quiz? The quiz is all going to be just about sketching stuff.
Not this.
We're not. It's just going to be on tomorrow's lesson. Maybe there'll be a couple of
Wait,
these.
so we're not doing anything with this.
No, we are. This is going to come into
Later.
play later on. I might have a couple of these questions on the quiz, just like dividing, but this is going to come more into play later on in the
You're
unit.
preparing us.
Yeah.
Oh,
So this doesn't
Okay.
matter for our quiz.
for a couple weeks doesn't matter. It will.
I might add a couple of these on the quiz.
No. Sketch.
All right. I want you guys to divide
Parabola.
using synthetic
Unless
division.
you get partial credit for these.
Of course, you always get partial credit, except for the limits.
Hey,
So,
Starbucks Christmas.
divide using synthetic division. So I'm going to give you 2x cubed minus 7x squared minus 8x plus 16 divided by x minus 4.
You keep on writing it different ways.
I know.
Just to expose us to.
I'm showing you everything.
Yes, because you get much.
I'm actually going to give you 2 problems to do. Come on, guys. I'm stopping the lesson short. You could do 2 problems.
If you're stopping it short, then like stop it really short, you know? Might as well finish.
Because I'm going to stump you by this one.
Oh, thank you. Really appreciate that. If we're stopping it short, are we
It's
ever
not
gonna
messy.
learn the other
Well, if I
stuff,
do
or
it
we
wrong,
just
then
leave
it's
it?
possibly
Oh, pencil.
No, this is prettier.
It is much prettier.
And those ways we can suck too.
You good?
Sorry, I've done that.
Does anybody know how I could potentially trick you with the second one?
To add x squared.
You need to add the 0x squared. That's how I can trick you with the second one. So for the second one, you have to add the 0x squared. So it would be x cubed plus 0x squared minus 2x plus 6.
So for the coefficient, it's 0.
For the coefficient, it's 0 exactly. So for both of them, we want Q and R.
Sound bar. Christmas Starbucks menu comes out today.
Does that mean they put mint in everything? Like peppermint?
There's also like sugar cookie, I think.
I love sugar cookies. I'm not a big peppermint fan.
Me neither, but like
I like fall flavors.
when you go to Starbucks in like December, nothing beats like a hot chocolate with peppermint in it. So
I'm not a big hot
good.
chocolate fan.
Me neither.
Starbucks hot chocolate's like scalded.
What?
Very hot. I like things very hot.
That's okay.
Me too.
Wait for it.
I like, yeah, if it doesn't burn my tongue, I'm not happy about it.
Do you guys make hot chocolate with water or with milk?
Both. So I first put a little bit of water
Just add a little water.
and then the milk.
Okay, I guess that's okay.
What's going on?
Because the water dissolves it better.
Really?
So then when you do a little bit of water, it dissolves really good, and then the milk just keeps it creamy.
No, I like boil the milk scorching hot.
Yeah, I
But it cools down so quick.
Then drink it quick.
Yeah.
I disagree.
And got mini marshmallows in there.
I do
Mini
it with
ones.
water, but it tastes bad
The
every
Swiss Miss
time.
one?
I did it wrong.
Do it with
I
milk.
put it in
It makes it
a
nice and creamy.
pan, and I boil the milk, and then I put the cocoa powder.
Yeah, I do the same thing, but I boil water too.
How do you boil?
I'm making plastic.
And the pan in a pot.
Just boil it.
You boil it on the stove.
It's the same thing. You boil it the same way.
Okay, guys, what did we get for the first one? What'd you get for your quotient?
2x2 minus x.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What'd you say?
2x squared plus x minus 4.
But why? Oh, that's for the last one. Oh, yes, that is. You're right. I'm looking at it wrong. 2x squared plus x minus 4. What was your remainder?
0.
0. So you tell me, is it a factor?
Yes.
Yes, it is a factor. All right. No, I did not ask that. I'm just asking that now. All right. What about the second one? What's your quotient?
X squared minus 2x plus 2.
What about the remainder? 2.
Yeah.
Anybody want to see me do either one of those?
I got it like you're the first one.
The first one? Sure.
Are we gonna have homework on that?
No, I'm not going to give you homework tonight. But you'll have homework tomorrow, though. Okay. So what we want to do is we're setting up whatever is getting divided is what's going inside the house. So we are 2x cubed minus 7x squared minus 8x plus 16. Oh, wait. We're not doing the house. Sorry. We're doing synthetic. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to make sure every exponent is accounted for. 3, 2, 1, constant. We're good. Then what you want to do is you want to take your divisor and you want to set it equal to 0. So x minus 4 equals 0, and we solve x equals 4. What are we going to do? Put that in the box. Now you write out all of your coefficients. Bring the first coefficient down, and then you multiply what's under the line with the number in the box. So 2 times 4 is 8. Then you add the column. Negative 7 plus 8 is 1. Again, what's under the column, you multiply what's in the box. 1 times 4 is 4. Negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. 16 plus a negative 16 is 0. These end up being your coefficients, 2, 1, negative 4. And it's going to be 1 degree less than what we had before. So it's going to be 2x squared plus x minus 4 is our quotient. And our remainder is 0. Yes?
Okay, question.